What's up, guys? Kyle here. I'm gonna talk about a few things on TNA. I know I have not talked anything about TNA in a while, which is notably so. Nothing really has been really good coming from TNA. Nothing but just bad things. And then on the other spectrum, you got big things going on with the WWE, like WrestleMania and Punk leaving, the rise of Daniel Bryan, and well, Daniel Bryan's already been hot, but still, that and the WWE Network, which launches next week. So you got multiple things that just completely going on in WWE that people really aren't focusing anything to TNA, and I feel the need to mention just a few things here. It was reported about 2-3 weeks ago, MVP was the new investor in TNA. A lot of people kind of mixed reviews about this thing. One, people say it's another power struggle, which I get it. That is a bit redundant because we had the power struggle with TNA, with the Immortals, and kind of had a power struggle with Aces and Eights. Aces and Eights took over, but they really weren't. There really wasn't much of a power struggle. To me, I didn't see as much of a power struggle with Aces and Eights, but I see where people get that assumption. So I'll just say it is. So I give it the whole power struggle thing. It is a bit redundant, to have it back to back. It's like you need a breather. And a lot of people brought up the fact too, that MVP, even though he was a big mid-carder in WWE at best, and that for someone of his level, it's not believable that he could buy shares into TNA and be an investor. And on top of that, TNA being a private company, not a public traded company. So how can he have shares to TNA if he, logically, if you're a smart wrestling fan, all those things that people say, it makes sense. It really does, because how can you be an investor when the company is private and not public? But beyond the fact that TNA tries to play, tries to play to our ignorance, so to speak, because WWE's done it too. So I'll let them slide on it, because MVP to me has been one of the best things on TNA to watch right now, especially over the last 3 weeks. Since they've been in Scotland, we've gotten some good matches. We've got some pretty good shows. Definitely the Scotland crowd is great. It's the same arena that they rented out for Insane Championship Wrestling, which is a Scotland homegrown indie wrestling promotion. Insane Championship Wrestling, which I also love very much. So the crowd there, they are hot for TNA. But MVP to me, like I said, regardless of the him not being believable as a mid-card, how can invest shares and TNA being a private company and all that jazz, whatever. MVP is one of the best on-screen TV personalities I enjoy watching, not just in TNA, but I'd probably say above all else on professional wrestling as a whole right now, even against anybody on WWE. MVP, he speaks well. He can also talk on the mic, which we already knew he could do. He's an entertaining guy, and every segment that he's in TNA, I look forward to it because he is entertaining. So I hope, TNA, they do what they do with him, and they keep him in this role. He did wrestle Spud, Rockstar Spud. So it seems like if they do have him wrestle, it may be every once in a while. If they do what they did with, say, like Sting, for example, like if they have him wrestle once every few often, that's fine. I wouldn't mind that at all, but I would definitely love it for him to be this on-screen character. And as a matter of fact, he made a bet with Dixie, saying that if his team wins at Lockdown, then he would be in charge of the wrestling operation. She'll run the business, but he would just run the wrestling side of the business. I like that they put that out there, so it makes it a little bit different compared to like when Immortal battled for the supremacy of TNA. It was to take over all aspects and control of TNA. He's just saying, I don't want to run and take over TNA. I just want to run the creative wrestling side. You continue to do what you do and run the company, but I'm going to run the wrestling operations. So I like that they put that in there. They made that a little bit specific. So, you know, have MVP as an on-screen character, GM type role. I love it. I love what they've done with them so far, and I can't wait to see what they do with them next. The other thing I also want to talk about, last week we saw a sneak peek of a new character named Willow. Ooh. We all know Willow is Jeff Hardy. A lot of people have had so many mixed reviews on this. A lot of people say this, when they saw the promo, they're like, oh, they're doing the Wyatt. They're trying to copy WWE with the Wyatts and the whole creepy thing. To me, I have nothing but thumbs up for this idea. Here's why. One, Jeff Hardy had the Willow gimmick way before the Wyatts even came into town. Not only before the Wyatts even came into town, but also before Jeff Hardy even came into WWE. He had this Willow gimmick when he and his brother started their own wrestling promotion, Omega. If you guys remember that story from the Hardys DVD. So, one is Jeff Hardy reinventing himself, which I think is always a good thing to do, because how many years have Jeff Hardy been the charismatic enigma? For years. Jeff Hardy has turned heel before. Back, 3 years ago with Immortal. He did something different there. So it's like, what else can they do with him? I think this is a fresh new idea for him to bring in a character that he's never brought to WWE. But he's bringing it to TNA. It's a new, fresh idea for Jeff Hardy. And it could kind of be like, the way I see it, it could kind of be like a different persona of Jeff Hardy. Because if you guys remember, Jeff Hardy said that, he needs to take some time off. He needs to think about some things. Maybe he, goes crazy or something, and this alter ego, Willow, appears. Almost kind of like an Abyssif and Joseph Park kind of like thing. Hopefully TNA won't play it off that way. But I mean in the sense of Willow is like this dark, twisted alter ego of Jeff Hardy that has taken over Jeff's mind or whatever, that's come forth when Jeff Hardy was away, when he was down in the dumps, that he got screwed out of the world title from Magnus, and and thinking all this, and how corrupted the company was, how it just got to him. They may do something like that, but I'm all interested for change in wrestlers and wrestlers reinventing themselves. I'm not gonna knock the idea until I see it. You guys let me know what you think about MVP in TNA, his role. What do you like it, dislike it, and what do you think about Jeff Hardy's repackage as Willow? Do you think it'll be interesting? You think it'll bomb? I want your thoughts in the box below. Comment, subscribe. Peace.